This is Sensegood Digital Moisture Analyzer. Sensegood Instruments Private Limited is the world's one of the leading manufacturer of the moisture measurement instruments, along with the other measurement instruments like color spectrophotometers, colorimeters, color difference analyzers, water activity meters, reflectance meters, whiteness meters, and more. This is a very handy portable kind of instant moisture measurement instrument, particularly developed for the agricultural commodities. This is for the grain moisture analysis. However, it can be also used for other kind of commodity analysis, which are not falling into the category of the agricultural commodities. If the calibration is not available with us, we can develop the calibration for you, for your samples, and then after the same instrument will be able to work for your samples as well. Today I'm going to demonstrate you the moisture measurement of the wheat and maize and some of the other agricultural commodities using the Sensegood Digital Moisture Analyzer model, SDMA. You can see here the instrument comes with the funnel, the hopper, using which you can pour the sample into the instrument. The instrument has only two button operation. It is very easy to use. It has only a taste button and a list button. List switch is used to change and select the list of commodities, the calibrations which are already installed in this instrument. You can let us know what all commodities you desired to have in your instrument. And there is a test switch, list and test switch. Test switch is used to measure the moisture. Okay, so let us see the operation of this instrument. There is an on-off switch here. You just have to turn on the instrument by pressing on-off switch, and then you should be able to see that the instrument is self-calibrating. It is steering itself. This is the initial calibration of the instrument, during which you'll have to ensure that the cavity of the instrument is empty. There isn't any sample placed inside the cavity. Okay, now you should be able to read on this OLED the commodity name and the amount of commodity which is needed to measure the moisture, right? So you can press now the list button to change the commodity. So there are various pre-installed commodity database which is already loaded. You can let us know what all 8 commodities you need in this instrument. You can also read the weight or the volume of the sample along with the commodity name which you need to take for the measurement. Okay. So let us suppose test for the maize. It tells you that you need 125 grams of maize. I'm just pouring the sample. You can see that it is 125 grams. I'm pouring it in pepper. And then you just have to place the hopper onto the top of the instrument. It fits perfectly. There is a lever on the side of the instrument, on the side of the hopper, and then you just have to press this lever, and then the sample falls in, and then just press taste so that it starts measuring. You can see that it shows you 10.3% moisture, and the reading gets locked after a few seconds. So this maize sample has 10.3% of the moisture, which is a dry sample. And you can see that the amount of weight which we have taken is 125 grams, which is mentioned. And then the 29.5 degrees Celsius is the measured temperature along with the measured moisture that the instrument displays. I can take out this into the pepper, and I can check the instrument's repeatability by placing the hopper onto the top of the instrument and pressing the lever of the hopper from side, and then the sample falls into the cavity, and I just press the test button again, and I can see that the instrument displays exactly the same moisture which it measured earlier, which is 10.3% again, which is the best in class repeatability. The instrument's repeatability is best in class. Now, suppose say if you want to measure the wheat sample, then I can take out this maize sample and I can select a wheat sample by pressing the list switch. Now I can see that there is a wheat written onto the LCD and it displays 150 grams. It displays 150 grams, and I can take out 150 grams of wheat. You can see that it is 150 gram of wheat. I can pour it into the cavity and I can measure the moisture of this wheat the same way we measured for the maize, and then you just have to press test so that it displays the moisture of this wheat, which says that it is 9.3%, a dry sample, and then the temperature is 29.6 degrees Celsius. Right? So it is very easy to use instrument and the most accurate and the repeatable instrument. Let us measure the moisture content of the mustard sample. As you can see that the mustard has been selected using the list switch of the instrument, and you can also read that it requires full volume. So we have completely filled the hopper fully using the mustard sample. Just have to place this hopper onto the top of the instrument and just have to press the lever from the side so that the sample falls into the cavity, and just have to press test button and it will give you the moisture content of the mustard sample, and it gets locked after a few seconds. Now you can see that the mustard has the moisture of 8.5%, and the temperature is 30.7 degrees Celsius. Now let us measure the moisture content of the soybean. You can see that the soybean sample has been selected using the list switch of the instrument. It also mentions that we need to have the full volume of the sample. So this hopper is completely filled with the soybean sample. You just have to place this hopper onto the top of the instrument and just press this lever from the side so that the sample goes in, and you just have to press test switch so that it starts measuring. After a few seconds the reading will get locked. Now you can read that the moisture content of this soybean sample is 8.8% and the measured temperature is 30.1 degrees Celsius. This Sensegood instrument's moisture analyzer compensates the moisture using the measured temperature.